Welcome to SVG-TV News for Monday, July 29, 2024. I'm Yvette Boyens with the details. Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves has congratulated President Nicolas Maduro on his re-election as President of the Republic of Venezuela. Venezuela's electoral authority declared President Nicolas Maduro the winner of Sunday's election with 51% of the vote against opposition candidate Edmundo Gonzalez, 44%.
Already telephoned the authorities in Venezuela. I didn't get Nicolas. I spoke to someone close to him to convey our congratulations. I've just approved a statement from Alba, to which we belong. Again, issuing congratulations to Nicolas Maduro and affirming, which we all know from the elections in the past, that the electoral system in Venezuela has been adjudged by independent observers as being one which is free, fair, and transparent. Of course, politics is intervened by some people, some countries. They've gone through that folly in the last few years. But the reality on the ground is that Nicolas Maduro and the Bolivarian Revolution have the support of the people of Venezuela, and that expressed again in this electoral victory. Congrats again to Nicolas.
Venezuelans' opposition party said they were preparing to dispute the results. From July 28th to 30th, 2024, the heads of governments of the Caribbean Community CARICOM convened in St. George's, Grenada for the 47th regular meeting of the Conference of Heads of Governments, with Baroness Patricia Scotland, Secretary General of the Commonwealth, being this meeting's special guest. St. Vincent and the Grenadines is represented by Prime Minister Dr. the Honorable Ralph Gonsalves, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Trade and Consumer Affairs, Honorable Frederick Stevenson, and Ambassador of St. Vincent and the Grenadines to CARICOM, His Excellency Alan Alexander. The heads of governments over the course of these days will discuss key issues, including climate change, sustainable development, food and nutrition security, the CARICOM single market and economy, and the effects of Hurricane Beryl on the region. The conference will also review progress towards achieving full free movement, developing a strategy for regional digital resilience for 2025 to 2030, and mark the formal admission of Curacao as a CARICOM member. At the opening ceremony, both Sir Clive Lloyd, former West Indies cricketer, and Mr. Roderick Rainford, former Secretary General of CARICOM, received the Order of the Caribbean Community. Establishing an acute care hospital was described as a long journey by Chief Medical Officer Dr. Simone Keyser Beach, but one that is worth the wait. The CMO, who was present at the signing of the Memorandum of Understanding for work to commence by Overseas Engineering and Construction Company, OECC, last Friday, said that the health services offered will definitely improve.
Because we can have a building, but if we don't have the structure, if we don't have the management to provide the services, it's just going to be a building. So we have always been working on building something which would meet the needs and also strengthening our services. As you know, our main challenges have to do with non-communicable diseases. And so a major focus of this facility will be the provision of services. As we heard, cardiology services, we're looking at dialysis services, we're looking at neurology, we're looking at ways in which we can provide the services to Vincentians that we need.
Dr. Keyser Beach highlighted the potential for the acute care hospital to enhance efficiencies and provide surgical procedures for individuals who previously had to travel abroad for medical treatment.
As you heard, we have 7 operating theaters. We have outpatient clinics where we can not necessarily have a full-time, say, neurosurgical team or cardiovascular surgical team, but where we'd have the capacity to host those teams in country so that our persons won't have to travel. We're also going to focus a lot on improving the efficiencies in terms of how we work, in terms of how we work with the entire system. So the hospital, we say, is a house, but we are going to make it a home. So we're going to build and strengthen going forward.
Prime Minister Dr. Ralph Gonsalves told parents on Union Island that it is now up to them to decide whether to send their children to school on mainland St. Vincent or on Union Island. This as the second consultation with residents of Union Island was held last Thursday, July 25, 2024, to address schooling for students of the hurricane-ravaged island. For the Prime Minister, he said it is a difficult decision.
I begin by telling you, this decision is not an easy one. If it were easy, we would not be having the conversation in the way in which we are having it. But rest assured that we are providing all the opportunities to ensure that our children from Union Island are not placed in a less advantageous position as the children elsewhere.
The Prime Minister said he understands the parents' concerns and will not choose for them, but will ensure the options are available and proper amenities are in place for them, what is best for their children.
If you choose to have your child be educated in Union Island in the immediate future, and you change your mind at any time, I will accommodate you changing your mind. I will not do anything to say you can't change your mind. Similarly, if somebody is up, they say they want to come back to Union Island for their child education to be continued, I would not stand in their way. In other words, we have a flexible situation. The minister has explained to you what is the preference of the Ministry of Education.
Many parents raised their concerns for not wanting to have their children attend school on mainland St. Vincent. In Kingston, at the consultation, many parents generally agreeing to the Prime Minister's proposal to have them temporarily schooled at one location in Arnersville. During the course of the weekend, 12 motor vehicle collisions were reported to the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force Traffic Department. Speaking on the NBC's Traffic Highlights on radio today, Corporal Philip King mentioned the extent of the damage to persons caused by reported collisions in both the Kingston district and its outskirts. King also added that this represents a high percentage of collisions for the weekend period.
Today we had 7 in the Out district and we had 5 in the Kingston district. The damage reported was slight to moderate. We had 1 female passenger in the Connery district. She sustained injuries about her body. She was treated at the health center and discharged. And in the Kingston district, we also have 1 telecyclist, a rider, who sustained injuries about his body as well. He was treated as well at the Milton Taken Memorial Hospital and discharged. So there we have it for this weekend, a total of 12 accidents reported to the police.
Corporal King, attached to the Traffic Department, appealed to motorists to follow the traffic regulations of SVG in order to avoid imprisonment or fines for reckless driving. He further emphasized that road safety is the responsibility of everyone. More than 300 Canouan residents received free medical care over the weekend by a group of local doctors with the Hiruna Group organization. The team of doctors journeyed to Canouan equipped to execute the medical outreach to the hurricane-affected residents who welcomed the initiative. We hear more in this report.
More than 40 volunteers, including doctors, registered nurses, and other volunteers in the medical field, attended to Canouan residents who were in need of medical care. The outreach was held at the Canouan Secondary School.
Especially after the impact of Hurricane Beryl, knowing that even the medical providers here on the island were also impacted and themselves. And so we were able to bring a team of physicians, nurses, specialists to the island, and we had a wonderful day, a successful day, I would say.
President of the Hiruna Hope, Dr. Conrad Ned. The medical outreach was a collaborative effort between several partners, including the Child Evangelical Fellowship. They took care of the children who participated in fun activities. Counseling was also offered and residents welcomed the timely initiative.
I had the opportunity to bring my mom. My mom had to come over to Canouan because her house was destroyed on Union Island, so she's now here in Canouan with me, and she had the opportunity to see the specialist. She went to check her eyes. She wasn't able to get the full service here. However, it was mentioned that there's specialist that usually comes to St. Vincent on a yearly basis, and her name was taken down for an opportunity where she has to do a surgery.
It's a good initiative. Whosoever think about it, they did well, and I am very grateful. We, the people of Canouan, I'm speaking on behalf of each and every one also. We are very grateful.
Yeah, something very fun, but I just be getting a lot of migraine headache, so I be suffering like with asthma and stuff of that. I need to get some medication for it.
Organizer of the medical mission was Hyrina Hope's Vice President, Kaushaila Ned, who was pleased with the day's activities.
We saw 317 persons, but it will be more consultations because some people saw more than one person. All in all, it was a good effort. It was a good day we spent out there. I think we were able to accomplish what we did. We had all the other additional services free of charge, like blood tests, x-rays, ECG, physiotherapy, and ultrasounds is done free of charge. We will do the follow-up with the lab results and stuff like that, and we'll follow up with the patients we saw. And we'll keep in touch with Dr. Nati, who's the district medical officer for Canouan.
Ned said Hyrina Hope is likely to have another medical outreach, but this time it may be done in Miro. For SVG-TV News, Larissa Pogsley-Kidd.
In observance of the United Nations World Day Against Trafficking in Persons, the Royal St. Vincent and the Grenadines Police Force Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, in collaboration with the National Task Force Against Trafficking Persons Unit, will host a march and rally tomorrow at Heritage Square. This year's theme is Leave No Child Behind in the Fight Against Human Trafficking. In an interview with SVG-TV News today, Assistant Superintendent of Police and Head of Anti-Trafficking in Persons Unit, Junior Simmons, says they have a packed program for tomorrow's event.
The rally would commence at 10 a.m. from Heritage Square, and then we'd march along Bay Street. We'd take a right turn onto Bedford Street, and then a right turn onto Halifax Street, and we return to Heritage Square, where the rally would start thereafter. And at that rally, there will be speeches, presentations, solos, poems, entertainment. It promises to be a very exciting event. Not just talk, but if you attend that event, you'll be moved by the different performances that we have in store as we highlight the plight of victims of human trafficking globally.
ASP Simmons said that in light of the march and rally, the RSVG police force will continue to implement measures to equip individuals regarding this global fight against human trafficking. Simmons further stated that awareness and training will continue on human trafficking, which would lead to greater public knowledge and a better ability for individuals to identify potential trafficking victims.
Enforcement officers raising awareness about human trafficking, also training and sensitizing other stakeholders and partners in human trafficking. So our program of activities doesn't end with the march and rally against human trafficking. There are training programs that we have that we'll be rolling out later on in the year, where we're going to train border control officers, persons involved in the media, the judiciary, and there are also plans for us our national plan of action expires in 2025. So we'll start the process of reviewing that plan of action later on in the year with our partners and stakeholders.
ASP Simmons emphasized the significance of the theme, which focuses on human trafficking impacts on men, women and children.
Development goals. One of them is to end human trafficking by the year 2030. That is just 6 years away. So in order for us to really to succeed, we have to work harder, in that regard. So we have to train, we have to sensitize, we have to investigate, we have to prosecute, we have to protect the victims, and we have to work in partnership with all stakeholders, because the police alone cannot fight crime, as you're aware. We need the entire country, the entire community, every boy, girl, every man and woman to be on board in this fight against crime overall, including human trafficking.
The Trafficking in Persons March and Rally will commence at 10 a.m. with participants gathering at Heritage Square to raise awareness and express solidarity with the global fight against human trafficking. The rally will feature a series of poems, solos, and speeches from key figures, including law enforcement officials. The event promises to be both informative and inspiring, offering attendees an opportunity to learn more about human trafficking and signs of human trafficking. The general public is asked to wear blue in solidarity for the march and rally. Reigning Miss SVG 2023 Arena Foy is currently in Taipei, Taiwan, pursuing a 4-week beauty course courtesy of the Taiwan International Cooperation and Development Fund, the Taiwan ICDF. In a historic visit and as a testament of the relationship between the Beauty Shows Committee and the Embassy of the Republic of China on Taiwan, Foy is the first reigning queen to travel to Taiwan to participate in a program of this nature. As reigning queen, Foy has been given the opportunity to hone her skills with respect to entrepreneurship, personal beauty, styling, and special effects makeup, with emphasis on hands-on practice in professional settings with industry leaders. The reigning queen returns to SVG on August 9th, 2024 to continue her duties in preparation for the staging of Miss SVG on October 5th, 2024.